Tell me, what is it that you're seeing?
Well, the very first thing I saw just before I got onto the steps was the most massive lion's head, just right up close, and its eyes were just piercing right through me. And now he's showing me his rump. You know how the lions walk and they almost have a sway,
Yes.
and his tail's hanging down and it's just got a flick at the back, or right at the bottom. And it's like he's taking me to a place, if you can think of Jurassic Park, it's that kind of setup, which is very, very, very old, but he's just smiling because he says this is the old earth that they occasionally can shapeshift and come and visit. And he's taking me through, it looks like just shimmering light coming through. And he's using the word void, into the void, to take me into another area as such.
So follow him and see where he's taking you. Are you on a specific platform? Are you on a specific continent?
No, we're traveling through this wormhole.
Wonderful.
And it's as if we're in a tumble dryer, like going round and round and round, spinning really, really quickly. And as he goes through this, he actually changes from the lion into looking very similar to sort of like Gandalf, with the long grey beard and the long wisp cloak. And he's changed into this new shape for the meeting.
So follow Gandalf. Where is Gandalf taking you? Where is this meeting taking place?
There are these beings that we're meeting. They call themselves the Star People. And if you look at them, they're very, very tall, though, very long, but they look like a starfish. And they've got like long in their head, going into like skinny and then a head, and then out with the arms and the legs, but the actual torso between the head, chest, and the limbs and the arms, if you can imagine like a starfish, and then you had to pull it, right? Like on two sides you pull it and that becomes skinny arms, and then you pull down the other sides and those become skinny legs, and then you start pulling up at the top, and then that becomes the head. So they call themselves the Star People. The Indians know about them. They said it's part of the Hopi prophecies. And
from?
I'm just seeing like as if you're going in a spaceship and you're just going so fast, like skimming through what we would term light years.
And do they have a specific
They,
message?
they laughing, they say, we come from the stars. We the Star People.
Thank you for that. Are they connected to many star seeds on Earth?
Yeah, they are. They say that they have generations here, a few generations actually, that are here, and it's intergenerational. And they're now telling me that they want to speak about DNA today
Please go ahead.
and the importance of DNA. And they said the humans that don't realize that they've been giving the DNA to what are called DNA data banks to find out who they are. And they're just laughing. They're going, oh my gosh, really, children, you know who you are. And they're saying that the powers that be are collecting information. They want to know the origins of, they're calling them the clans, of all the different clans on earth, because those that run these databases, those that work in the databases, a lot of them don't know really what they're doing. They're just gathering information and data and DNA. They said, but the puppeteers, the masters running, the puppeteers pulling the puppet strings, they actually have an agenda behind this ancestry DNA, or whatever you want to call it. And they've made it a bit of a fad on earth at the moment, like, oh, let's see where we come from. Oh, we didn't know we had a bit of Chinese in us. Oh, we Norwegian. Oh, we've got African blood, etc. They said no, they're actually looking at a deeper segment of the DNA to see actually where you come from, what star system you come from. And then they're able to track, almost like tracking soul groups, and then keep an eye on particular groups, and also track their children. So they're saying that this is actually not a good idea to start investing your DNA and handing it over as such.
So thank you for that, and we appreciate any guidance from your people, as we know that as human beings, a lot of us at times feel not sure which is the way. So what could they help us with besides the information that they are giving us right now? What else about DNA? We keep talking about these upgrades. We're feeling the different upgrades. Many of us are feeling the different upgrades. How do the upgrades affect us?
Well, we've told this one before that these upgrades take energy, use up your energy quota that you have as human. And that's why we're upgrading you, to actually enable you to last longer. It's almost like you get different kinds of batteries. And if you buy them at the supermarket, one battery will last X amount of time, and the same size battery, if you pay a little more, will last longer. So all of you've got a battery as such. So what we are doing is we are putting new implants into your batteries so that you last longer, that you are more energized, and that your systems become more streamlined. And at the same time, it means that you're going to become much more aware, much more intuitive. You're actually going to be restoring the parts of the DNA that were manipulated thousands of years ago. And this manipulation needs to be corrected as such, because it was interfered with when it should never have been interfered with. But we are now realigning you. It's almost like you're getting a wheel alignment. And when you are aligned, you will then step more into your power. And the DNA is so very important, because as you upgrade and as you align, you will then start being able to unlock your codes, your light codes. And as you unlock the codes, you open up, you open up, you open up, you're opening up the portals within yourself. And then as you open those up, then you can go and be what's known as an activator. So are you not going to Egypt soon with this one?
We are, that is correct, yes.
Right. So we have been activating the group. We have been aligning the group. We have been given uploads or downloads, and we have been getting you ready for the job ahead, because we need your systems to be aligned, open, and activated, because you hold our ancient codes within you from all your star-seeded systems. It's because you come from different star-seed systems, from the different galaxies. And we on the Intergalactic Federation, as part of the Intergalactic Federation of Light, have brought you all together at this particular time. So when we planted seeds eons ago in that Egyptian era, we put through lines which are portals. Note, like this, putting in codes and then turning them. Very, very powerful. You, Michelle, have been speaking to this one and the audience about ley lines.
Correct.
And these ley lines have a cross section on your grid system. They are points of power, in extreme power. It's almost as if you could go along your bedroom wall and you have your phone charger and you just want to push your phone charger straight into the wall and go, why aren't you charging? And then suddenly you come across your power point that an electrician put in. And then you put your phone charger in and you flick the switch and suddenly there is a charge, not so?
Correct, yes.
This is exactly what is happening with these portals or these ley lines or these magnetic grid, these points. So they are situated all around your world, and we are now activating those that came for a specific mission in the different areas. You are not our only group, but you are the group that is going to activate in Egypt, where others have been activating in different areas because of their DNA, the way their blueprint is structured. So it opens up, it's a key, and if you can imagine what we term sacred geometry, all the different symbols, all the mathematical equations, all have to come in a particular unique pattern. And each star seed comes with their pattern from their solar systems, their galaxies, and then it's embedded within. And then they go into those areas, and the energy recognizes their energy, their frequency. So the two frequencies come together and it goes flop, and then it opens up.
So, thank you for that information. We know that there's been moments of, for myself, moments of fear, because we have been shown that we will be coming back different. Is it possible you can share some information on what that difference looks like for us on a physical, emotional level, please?
Lighter.
Wonderful.
So we're giving her the image of a layer cake. Do you not have cakes on earth that are this big? And a layer of cream and a layer of cake and a layer of fruit and some caramel and then some more cream and some cherries and some cake. Layer cake. Right. So what we are doing is we're cutting out the cream, we're cutting out this layer, that layer, that layer, that layer, and we are leaving you lighter. so you can think faster, lose the baggage. For so many of you on this emotional plane carry what is termed emotional baggage. And we have taught this one that emotion is energy in motion. And yet many don't allow the motion. They stop the energy, that emotion of upset, and they hold it and they hold it and they hold it. And every time they hold it, they are handing their power to the person that they feel caused the emotion. But the person didn't cause the emotion. That person is only finding their way, just like you are. And that's when the portal of light comes into play. That when it is opened, then the communication comes out and says, wow, your comments just did something inside, discombobulated me. I feel fragmented in some way. I don't feel solid. I feel a shift. I wonder why I'm actually feeling like that. Oh, that's right. I forgot who I was. I was thinking that you control me and I'm not in charge of my emotions. When you told me you don't like me anymore, when you told me, are you putting on weight? Do you think maybe you could lose some of that? You know, are you bringing in enough money into this family? You spend too much time with your friends. It could be any big thing or little thing. And you go, oh, and then suddenly you think, oh, I should do something about that. Or, oh, they're right. And then you feel unsure inside and unsettled. And you don't like feeling like that unsettled, then less than. And then your value of yourself starts diminishing. Instead of going, how are you hurting? What did I say to you that affected you so much that you had to come back with a spear, with a barb? Is it me? Is it really me? Or are you unsettled about something that you can't control? Instead of going, oh my gosh, I feel awful. And then immediately you don't like them because they've just told you you are less than. And then there's unsettlement in both camps. So to get back to your question, how are you going to be after you come out of Egypt? You will not be so reactive. You will go, oh my gosh, this earth game. Isn't it so interesting? Isn't it incredible that now I'm an observer of my own experience in the 3D? And so you expand and you go, oh, I had no idea I was carrying baggage for so long. And as that happens, you become lighter and lighter, and you start laughing at yourself for worrying about what we call nonsensical things. But that is part of the human experience. That is what you came to master, first to feel the emotion, and then to be the master of the situation.
Thank you for that. And it's so fascinating what you are sharing with us today. And it's something that I think a lot of individuals are pondering on, not only in terms of the life lessons, but I'm most certainly seeing a huge amount of individuals and people collectively wanting to shift, wanting to become lighter, wanting to get rid of the baggage. So, does it ever stop, is my question. Does the baggage ever just, where you become the observer, the master that is the creator? Because we're not the creator of the one.
We've just shown this one a smorgasbord. So there you are, going into this restaurant, going into this hotel complex, being at a conference, banquet, Christmas, special occasion, and there are tables and tables in front of you, covered in food. So much deliciousness. Michelle, would you be able to eat everything on that smorgasbord?
No, but I'd sure give it a good go.
Correct, correct. And that is what happens. Humans go to these smorgasbords, and often, have you noticed that they think they can eat more than they really can?
Mm-hmm.
And they put more on their plates, and then the food is wasted instead of just putting a little portion on, having a taste, finishing that, and going for more. So we used to say, you know, the eyes are bigger than the belly. How much can the belly hold? And there it's all out. And the jelly tastes different to the steak, and the prawns taste different to the salad. Oh my gosh, and there's so many colors and so much fabulousness. And that is just like the emotions. So many to experience. But like the smorgasbord, after you've had your fill, you actually can't. You just couldn't put another morsel in your mouth, or else you feel like you would just explode. Like on a Christmas day, after you've had your Christmas meal and you've had far too much, and you're just like, whoa. And that is when your body tells you, I can't anymore.
Mm.
And that is the exact same thing with emotions. It gets to a stage when you're having confrontation, when you're having arguments, and doesn't it get so heavy?
It does.
So heavy. You can't carry it anymore. You feel if you have one more teardrop, that your whole system's going to collapse.
Mm.
And so it'll get with humanity, that they will learn how to deal with the emotions. And what they will come to realize is that the portal of light, the words that come out, the communication system, when they come out with thought, with stillness, without malicious intent, without wanting to be a winner, but wanting the best outcome for all.
Mm.
Then, without manipulation, one can think, how can I make this situation better? Every time I throw a word in, it's like another piece of wood on the fire. Is that really helpful? Why do I have to have the last word? Why do I need to be right? If you really know who you truly are, then you don't have to prove to anyone that you are right, because what others think of you has got nothing to do with you.
Mm.
That is their business. What is your business is how you think of yourself. And when you do not think much of oneself, that is when one's hackles come up in any situation. But if somebody suddenly said to you, oh, you've got this weirdest knob on your head, and you know you don't have a weird knob on your head, then you just go, yeah, whatever, don't you?
For sure.
And you will get to the stage when it'll be like, yeah, whatever. Then you would have mastered your emotions. And this is
that your phone?
so we were interrupted by the phone, and they're laughing and they're saying that is exactly a perfect analogy to give. How many interruptions are you allowing in your life, in your flow? And that is why it's so important to meditate, because when you meditate, you are in a point of stillness. You are communicating with yourself, with your cells. And when you do that, you get to know yourself. So those irritations won't be irritating anymore. You will now be in a space of learning and in being intrigued that somehow you've unsettled someone or somebody's unsettled you. But back to the DNA. As the DNA gets activated and upgraded, and you get more into the power of who you are, those won't be bothersome as much anymore until they won't be bothersome at all. And that is where you are heading as a people for humanity. There will be a calm. But first we're going to have a storm.
Well, thank you for that, because that's part of my questioning for today's session. Is we have been shown, Jill has been shown in the book The Discourse, we've all been shown that platforms will be coming down, and there is the 3 days of darkness. What does that actually mean? Will this be an energetic 3 days of darkness? Is this something that humanity are already going through? What does it actually mean for this golden era, this new platform that we're working towards? So many people talk about the tribes, the tribes. We're going back to being the way that the tribes used to be, the hunters, the gatherers, the nourishers. So I know I've got a lot of questions in that. What can we, as human beings, we like to expect things. What can we shift right now in this moment for those that are listening? How can we be the change that we want to see, is my question.
Well, it's quite simple. It's actually one sentence. Do and be to others as you would have them, as you would have them do to you.
So are you guys creating this interference right now?
Michelle, did you not switch off your phone?
My phone's off, yes.
My phone's off.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
Wow. So
And
it's
they,
exactly that quick, there's the phone again, and then bringing ourselves back into a space of exactly what you've just said.
exactly. Are you going to allow the phone to be a disturbance? Just because it rings, do you need to answer it? Just because somebody attacks you, do you have to attack back? No. You can say, That's interesting. I'll think about that. I'll get back to you when I'm ready. And please remember, when we say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, we taught this one when she went through and had an MRI before she had her near-death experience, that every word that comes out of your mouth towards another is the exact gift that you are bestowing upon yourself, upon yourselves. So if you want a peaceful future, then you give peace. You know, there may be a storm coming and a storm raging all around you, but we said to you, it is now the time to be like a pillar, to be a pillar of strength for those that have not found their way yet, for those who do not know who or what they are or who they live for. And so we are putting pillars of strength all through the communities. And that's why we are doing the upgrades, so that when the storms approach, and there are those whose vessels are doing this, there will, like rudderless, there will be the other vessels that will know exactly how to put their sails up and to catch the wind perfectly. And they will then go and secure those ones that are rudderless. So this is change. It is time for change. Gaia has requested change. She needs to go to a new party. And so all of you that are here at the moment, it is a privilege to work with you from all the galaxies to do the work that you are doing on this heavy, dense 3D plane. We are assisting as much as we can. However, when you realize who and what you are, you will realize that you are able to save yourselves, but you are so busy fighting and bickering and complaining and pulling each other down that you get divided and the energy gets fragmented. When you come together, all the nations coming together, working together, then there is nothing and no one that can control you. So the first thing we need to do is to remind you who you are. So if you are doing something in your life that you are currently unhappy with, then you've got to say to yourself, what will happen if you continue with your unhappiness? Are you going to start blaming those around you because you are unhappy, because you are not brave enough to make a change? And that is as small as it is. It is as small as having breakfast and eating cereal when you really want eggs on toast. You have to start making little decisions without guilt, for you have come for your experience, not for somebody else's experience. All of you have come for expansion and to be everything that you can be, to be that bud that opens up and goes into full bloom. And one flower is not more beautiful than another flower. Let others blossom. Let others bloom. They will be a different color. They'll be a different size. They will have a different fragrance. They will grow in a different part of this world. Just allow others to be and start enjoying each other.
Thank you for that. And I suppose it's like choosing a small smorgasbord or a big smorgasbord. What's the choice going to be? All I hear is some more, some more, some more, almost. Which I know I've been called out on that before, but it really is an interesting time where there is so much information out there. So many people have woken up to, myself included. If you had said to me 5 years ago I'd be channeling, I wouldn't have even known what that meant. But so many people are becoming the mediums, the channels, the receiving the downloads, and there is a huge amount of information out there. How do us as human beings decide what to watch, when? Which smorgasbord do we choose to feed on? Because there is a huge amount out there, and I most certainly myself, sometimes I'm just like, it's so overwhelming because who do I believe? Who's doing what? Who's saying what? And I'm sure a lot of human beings have these same questions or thoughts. How do we choose?
Well, if you went to a smorgasbord and if it was pigs, trotters, and sheep's eyeballs, and sheep's brains, and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, how would you feel after you tuck into that?
Me personally, not great, yet if you were to speak to a farmer who lived in the Karoo, who chooses to eat every part of the animal, probably no different. Do you hear the difference between the two?
Absolutely. And that's why we've given it to you as an example. For you personally, that is not your choice.
Yes.
So there are many choices. Everybody has free will. So what will work for you, going down rabbit holes or listening to certain channels or programs or platforms, might work for you, but not for somebody else. Somebody else might say to you, oh, you've got to listen to this person. You've just got to listen to this person. And you start listening and you go, oh, I mean, yeah, but, it doesn't settle within your bones as such. It's like there's a discord. So you don't listen to it. And then you might find something that really suits you and you get excited and you want to share it. And then that person will have the reaction that you have, because you've come in your frequency, you've come in your bandwidth, you've come to be everything that you can be in that particular tone, in that particular hue. And so you will then start to discover all the pockets that come in that vibration, and then you will discard the others. And when you've done enough exploring, shall we say, in one particular area, you'll go, okay, I've had enough of that. And then you'll open another little doorway, and then you'll have an exploration of something new. And when you explore that, you'll go, oh, I didn't even know there was a doorway over there. I wonder what's in there. And then after all the doorways are saturated, then you come back to self, because self contains every single doorway. And that is what's called self-contained, contained in self. And yet one doesn't realize that everything is contained in self, but one is always looking and exploring on the outside. And then when one is saturated, then one goes and rests in nature. One goes, oh, I've been too long on this internet. Oh, I need a break from this. When things start pulling you down, making you heavy, making you sad, then you know you've had enough of a certain subject, of a certain area. You have many documentaries going on around your earth plane at the moment that are showing what we could term great sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, earthlings, no, we need to show this. People need to know and see what's going on. This needs to be exposed. And yet there are others that will say, I don't want to see it. I know it's going on. And then others say, but we've got to do something about it. Those that need to do something about it will do it. That is their calling. It doesn't mean it's your calling or their calling or that one's calling. There will be a particular soul group that's working on that as their mission, as it is your mission and this one's mission and others to go to Egypt. Those that are working on the other missions aren't going with you to Egypt, correct?
Correct.
Right. And that's what we want to let humanity know. Don't trouble yourself so much when you see something that is upsetting you and you think, am I a bad human for not getting involved in that particular thing? How can I see it and not do anything about it? It's because you've been made for a different mission. If you all did one thing, what would happen to the other areas? And that's why we pulled you from your star systems with your different missions. However, the group that is exposing this, they've done an excellent job. This is changing the vibrations of many. And so it is.
Thank you for that. So, just with regards to Egypt, because you've brought us back there, as we know, everything is energy. And would you say that those who are even connected into the vibration of us going, but those who are not physically going, is there any recommendation that we can give to those that are wanting to connect into that energy with us as a group going? Would that make the energy stronger, more powerful? Is there anything we could suggest or recommend to everybody? Because we get these questions, and you guys already know what we've been shown, and whew, it's almost like I have no words with the vibration of what we've been shown.
Yeah, we are showing this one now, and it's the biggest pulse of light that's just like a Morse code. And it's going out, and we've already set the vibrations. They are already emitting. As you remember, when this one was hypnotized by Laura, the very first thing she saw was the pulsing light behind the pyramid.
Yeah.
And we had already set that up. And every single person that feels the pull that can't go to Egypt at this time, we will be connecting with them. And they will be aligned because their intention, their heart space has opened for that. And they are part of the larger team. You know, there are many that listen to your transmissions, to this one's transmissions, Alba's transmissions, Laura's transmissions. And many of them feel less than. I want to channel, I want to communicate. Why can't I hear from my guides? And yet they don't realize the beauty of who they are just by their tone, holding their tone in their area. We've put them in their specific areas just to be the light in those pockets They are so important. They are so imperative. And they are drawn to certain channels, as you say, as we discussed earlier. But those ones on the night or the day of the 26th, if they set their intentions for the light to come through and hold the light, imagine it coming through as a bright white golden torch beam through the crown, and imagine a glass pipe or tube all the way down to their toes, and see this light pouring through. And if they just sit and meditate on that for a few minutes, and then we want them to connect with Cairo, and they can visualize the 3 pyramids, and then they get the light that's coming out from the bottom of the tube, and they take it on the Giza plateau, and they form a half arc like a rainbow over the top of the pyramids, down, back to the Giza plateau, back into the tube. Oh, this one's getting absolute goosebumps. All the way through and back to us.
I felt that too. I just felt this expansion in my heart, and almost as if I'm levitating right now. Like I could, if you see like a rocket and my feet are like, and my hands are like, I feel like Iron Man. You know how Iron Man just flies. So thank you for that.
And as they do that, they will have a shift themselves, because this is a time for what is termed the shift.
Thank you. Would you like us to use that name for this session today?
The shift.
And are you a collective of star people, or is there one specific star person that we are speaking to?
No, we are collective of many. And as we started, we showed her all the skinny beings, lots and lots and lots of skinny beings with our star shapes. And when you visit Egypt, you will see the star beings on the ceiling. And that is to say, we are here.
We thank you. Is there anything you would love to end off with today?
Yes, thank you. We would like to say this is our first transmission, and we would like to thank you for having the courage to do this work. We know this is a first for you, but this is a good team. This is a strong team. And when we talk about team, we're talking about not only you and this one, but all those that are listening. You are all stars. You come from the stars. It is time to declutter. It is time to take out the old wounds, all the barbs waiting to be right to make somebody else wrong because you have a wound that doesn't heal the wound. It just creates a wound in somebody else. And when you do that, did we not say whatever you give to another is a gift that you bestow upon yourself? So be gentle with yourselves. Take your time in answering conversations. Ponder more. Be more self-aware. Be kind to yourselves. Don't hold so much. Don't let your 3D body carry so much. For this is the time for being light, for light beings.
Thank you for the beautiful information. And there's just something that I'm noticed, and I'm wondering if anybody else who watches this will notice. But as you are speaking through Jill, her right eye is slightly open, her left eye is closed. Is there anything behind that that we need to know? It's fascinating for me.
How open are you? Are you open to new possibilities? Are your eyes open but you do not see? What is it that you do not see? Are the eyes not the window to the soul?
Mm-hmm.
And you look in each other's souls all the time, and yet you do not see the other. You do not see the brightness of the beings of light that are in front of you. You forget this veil that came when you arrived on this earth plane is starting to slip and disintegrate. And you'll be able to see more and more until now we've got both her eyes open.
Mm.
And so she sees the clouds and she sees us.
Mm.
So do your eyes need to be open in order to see?
Mm.
And yet so many eyes are open, and yet so few are seeing.
Mm.
It is a time for the veils and the scales to disappear. It is a time for seeing deeply within, and it's a time for truth telling. We would like a session with the way, the truth, and the light. But this time, it will be what's called a webinar or a Zoom. You, this one, and Peter will be answering questions. And we would like this to happen when you come back from Egypt. When you come back from Egypt, you will be able to help and assist many more than you are assisting now. We would like to thank all those who come here not to listen to the Michelle or the Jill, but we would like to thank all those humans who come to this particular channel for themselves. For these are not this one's words, but these are our words. And we know this one from the Galactic Federation of Light. She sits on our council. And so we, the star people, came through today. But we will call upon the other councils to come through to you as you progress. And we say, go out and shine. Be a star. It is your time to shine.
Thank you so much, Star People. It has been a wondrous time, and thank you for giving myself and Jill the opportunity for shifting gears. And we are excited for how we bring new information through every time. So, from my heart to yours, thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
One moment. Could we please have the heading, The Shift, the Star People Speak, or a star? No, the Star People Speak.
No problem.
Message from the Star People, whatever you prefer, but we need a shift and the Star People.
A shift or the shift? A shift?
The shift.
Shift. The stars people speak. Okay. No problem. We'll put that up. Thank you once again for coming through today, for this wonderful, wonderful information that help us all as the humans that we are. And I most certainly am incredibly grateful to Jilly and to you for all coming through. So with that, we say, Jilly, start coming back into your body. 3, opening your eyes, wriggling your toes. 2, feeling your delightful and happy self. I'm so glad I'm on the other side that I can say that. And 2, coming back into your fabulous, fabulous self. How was that for you? Yeah.
Hey?
How was that?
Oh, it's weird being on the other side after all is doing the questions. Haven't done this for a while. So,
wow.
oh, what beautiful, beautiful beings. Just, and as I came back, they gave me this unbelievable green light, just surrounded by this pink, but the deepest hue. Hey, wow.
I saw it right next to you, but I was so in it with you and listening to what they were saying that I actually wanted to take my phone, but I saw it. It was like, it was actually like how do you say it? Like I don't know, it was like an extension of yourself, but it was right next to your left cheek. And I was like,
Oh, just like,
wow, incredible, absolutely incredible. So, and what pure energy, just beautiful.
oh, they are just, I mean, I wish you could see them. It's like, like a starfish,
Mm.
but like the, so the body, so it's like here is the top, like, it goes like out, and the leg, like a starfish being
Yeah.
stretched, but they tall, eh? They really, really tall.
Wow.
And they almost like see through, and they like angular when they walk, like skinny.
It's
You know,
cool. Yeah, when you're on the other side and you're trying to explain what they look like, hey, because you're just like, how do you explain exactly what we're seeing? It's almost not possible, but trying to, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
like a cutout, like almost metallic, that they, yeah, just so skinny.
And did you see a lot of them? Like a
Yeah,
lot.
there were lots. There were lots. There was like one in the front that was the main chatter, but there were so many like next to him and behind him. Him. Yeah,
Well,
but
well,
gentle.
that's going to be interesting because I forgot to ask. Like when we come back from Egypt, they suggested they want you, me, and Peter to be put under hypnosis. And I meant to ask if Laura or Shahira would be the one to, but I suppose that might come through at a later stage. But they've given some clarity about Egypt, and we know that Egypt's already building momentum, which is really beautiful. And I do, yeah, I just feel incredibly honored. It's almost like I have no words. And this is kind of interesting, guys. Should I share with them how this came into light today, Julie?
Yeah, go for it. I'll just put this up here so I can chat.
So we had a meeting for Egypt early hours this morning, and really felt a little bit off my funk a little bit, and just feeling all different kinds of feels. And it's been quite an interesting time for letting go of the old, because even shifting what we've got to get rid of, like getting, like I'm going through this clear out in the home, and I'm just gifting crystals to clients, and I'm just like, just got to clear, I just feel like everything's got to be light, including my hair, just by the way, like somehow I just, and I actually got it, I got a very,
I cut my own fringe.
well, it was interesting because I was not impressed with my hairdresser because she chunked off so much of my hair, but I thought, you know what? It's part of the new, part of the letting go, part of the newness that will come, because hair holds memory too. So anyway, so I was saying to Jill this morning that I've just been feeling I've got some past lives that I need to work through, and that like I feel very protective over Jilly, which is not fair, but I also feel like kind of am I holding her back, or like how do we just love each other so much that we just want to give each other so much in return. And Jill said to me, do you think it's codependent, Mish? I'm like, I don't know. Like, how the hell do you know what the fuck is codependent and what's not? Because sometimes we lean on each other and other times we don't, hey. So it's just, anyway, so I was saying to her, like, I
Just
really
enjoy it. We just enjoy each other so much that almost it's like, oh shit, should we give each other a bit more space?
yeah.
Hey, oh my God, I haven't heard from her for 2 days. Is she okay? Oh, okay.
That's exactly what's happened. So I think we both have been, like I said to Julie, I said, like, I don't want to be your crutch. And she's like, I don't want to be your crutch. And anyway, it's just been fabulous. But then I actually received, for the last few weeks, believe it or not, I've actually received this message, because I've got this, like I said, I've been clearing out, and I've got this hypnosis guidance thing. And I was like, oh man, how do I ask her? How do I ask her? Because that means we shift gears. And then Jill said to me this morning when we were chatting, we had this really wholesome like chat, and it was just really beautiful. And she said to me, Mesh, I've been, what I think you said, for the last 10 days, hey, you've been.
Yeah, and then especially this weekend, it just kept on coming.
Mm. And I think also, like, sort of Friday, Saturday, my time, I was like, you know what? Maybe I just need to ask her. But then I thought, oh my God, I don't have the confidence to do this. I do hypnosis all the time. It's just because I
Exactly.
haven't got the course or the certificate. Interesting.
And it's not that we're doing hypnotherapy. We're not doing a therapy thing.
Yes,
We're doing hypnosis,
yes, exactly.
channeling. So it's different.
Which anybody will tell you though, and anybody who is a hypnotherapist will say to you, it's kind of driving in the car, and the next minute you go, oh, oh shit, I forgot to stop or turn right there. I don't know if you can agree with that, but that's what I've, been shared many times, that it's just like we just go into our own hypnotic state. And for me in menopause, it might be many, like, I can't remember your name. Those crickets in the, like, damn it, I know this person. But yeah, Jenny, it was just an absolute honor and privilege. And who would have
I loved
thought,
it.
thank you, who would have thought 2 years ago that this would be happening? Hey,
Never.
6 months ago, 1 year ago, because we were discussing this morning around Egypt and when it came into fruition, and it was gifted to us in a session last year, like in June, July last year, and we were like, but it's just fascinating how,
I didn't think was such a gift at the time.
you came kicking and screaming for a whole year. What? Huh? Oh, but they said, and then when you think about it, timelines move.
And yet look how it's worked.
Yo,
A
we
real
couldn't,
gift. A real gift. Yeah.
we couldn't have, even if we tried, hey, we couldn't have. It's a good old statement when we get out of our own way. And Brent asked me a very clever question this morning. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know how to answer that. But I said to him, maybe I'll, channel and bring it through. Maybe you can answer this. But because we're energy, how do we know what is ours? What is the collective's? What is yours? What is mine? How do we know? Like, share about what you were talking to me on the phone about how you were driving to was it your breakfast or your lunch on Friday?
Oh, and
And
then I was so upset.
yes,
No,
yes.
so weird. So on Friday, I was going to this morning tea, And suddenly I was overwhelmed with sadness, and I just felt like I wanted to cry. I mean, really upset. And I just couldn't understand it because I had nothing to be upset about. Everything was great. I was, going out for the morning. And I was just overwhelmed with almost grief. So I don't know where that came from. But this is sometimes when I get a bit confused, Michelle, because we always told that we won.
Yes.
So if we are one, then we are everybody's energy.
Absolutely. Yes.
We are a collective.
Yes.
And then maybe when people say, I was Cleopatra, and somebody says, no, I was Cleopatra, no, I was Cleopatra, I was Merlin, also was I was also Merlin. Then it's just a fractal of it.
Mm.
So I don't know if I think maybe we just a slither of a self-expression.
Mm.
We've got the entire collective with us. And that's why they say you've got the whole universe in yourself. And then I was listening to Robert Edward Grant the other day, which I thought, wow, that man's amazing. And
Mm.
he said, universe, but you are inverse.
Mm.
And then I thought, uni is many.
Mm.
And then I thought, what is a verse? A verse is like
Mm.
music or a song.
Mm.
And so it's many in harmony, many in song together.
Mm.
And then
Yeah.
I thought, a universe is one verse, one song. So we are singular songs
Mm.
in the entire orchestra.
Mm.
We are all those beautiful sounds being created with a master conductor.
Mm.
So although we have the beep, beep, beeps, all the little things, we still part of everything,
Mm.
aren't we? Like a
Well,
bubble in a bottle of champagne. It's part
yes.
of the champagne,
Yes.
but it's a bubble. And it doesn't say to the other bubbles, no, I'm the bubble, you're not the bubble.
I know. Even the sand on the beaches, all these
Right.
millions and billions of grains. Absolutely. They're all little. And
It's
I
just,
think of it every time we walk on the beach, we're shifting the vibration. And then the sea comes and it cleanses it, and then out it goes again, And yeah, there's so much to learn, though. So
I know we
much.
just have fun. I know just don't have the answers. I'm trying to figure it out as I'm going along.
Yeah.
Hey,
Just tell me
sometimes
more.
I have visions of, oh my God, yes, I've got it. And then I think, okay, but if that works and this works, and how does this work? And I don't really get
Yes.
that. Then I get
Yes.
so damn confused. And then I think people are listening to you and they think you know what you're talking about. And no, I'm just trying to find my way home.
But that's the truth, Julie, isn't it? That we're all trying
That's
to
all.
find our way home. And
Yep.
not one person's version of their course is right and the other person's version of their course is wrong, because when we're just in our own lane and just like the vision that comes to me is kind of, when you did you ever ice skate? And sometimes you get that like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and then you grab onto the but then you pack out laughing like, whoa, got that one right. And I'm back, and then you get like a few good ones.
Yes.
And
And then
that's
you're
how
just like
sometimes,
flying, man.
yeah, yeah, and then every now and again you can be like, woo. But that's just how being human feels to me. It's like I say to anybody, it's always wonderful if we could live like this every single day, but we're not here to live in a hypnotic state.
But you wouldn't think it's wonderful because you would have nothing to measure it against.
Yes, so true.
So for example, I was texting a lady in Africa the other day, and she said, wow, where do you live? That looks amazing. And I said to her, do you know that this is a quiet ski village in the South Island of New Zealand called Wanaka? I said, it is so beautiful and I'm so blessed. And I said, as a woman, I can, without my husband, take our puppy and go for a walk through a forest here, over a hill or a mountain, along a lake, and I have not 1 ounce of fear. I don't for 1 minute think, oh my gosh, something's going to happen to me. But coming from Africa, where you can't do that because, you'll get into trouble, that makes me so appreciative of where I live. Yet the people that live here don't give it a second thought because it's all they've ever known. They don't know danger. So they can't be grateful for it. Well, they might be grateful, but in a different way. Do you see
Personally,
what I'm saying?
I do. And personally, I think a lot of, guys take this on board or don't. But personally, I think a lot of the first worlders do not realize what they actually have because they haven't
Till it
lost
gets
it.
taken away.
Yes, because they haven't lost absolutely. And I don't mean that from a horrible space. It's all relative. That's what I'm coming to learn myself. It's all
It
relative.
just is.
People do not know. I mean, we've got uh, brand new, beautiful big blue buses here in Nelson, and our town's not big. And when you look on Facebook, people are bitching and moaning that they're taking up too much space. I'm like, really? Like, this is this is a way that the government's giving back. You see, it's how we choose to look at it, how we choose to stay in our lane. But you're going to have, and I think they actually said this, the star people, you're going to have, well, the only thing that comes to mind is the smorgasbords. You're going to have the people that want to, like me, that want to go through the whole buffet because I'm so intrigued and I want to taste everything. And then you're going to have some people that's just like, no, I think I'm just going to leave more for the rest to eat. And I'm like, bring it, man. I'm chomping. Then you might have a Jill who's like, I'm just going to have a little bit because I'll leave the rest for everybody else. I'm just,
No, no.
but I know it is all relative. And you know what's so fascinating is you met the lion. And I was actually shown before,
Huge.
I was shown though that we were going to Africa. It was, and then you said, "Oh, I saw this big lion." I was like, "Oh my God!" Like now, I understand what you feel like being on this side, where you just start to see things. You're like, "Shit."
And he was so big, he was magnificent. And then when he turned through the port, to go through that opening through the door, and it was on the left was huge jungle, and those big thick leaves and the vines and everything. And it was almost like in a city that had just, if you go and you find an ancient city that's been discovered and it's falling to pieces and nature's taken over.
Mhm.
That's what it was like. And that was like our earth, this current earth. And then I could see in the distance towards the right, there was almost like a city of crystal. And then this light came up in this like portal, and we went woo, 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 through this wormhole. And that's when we saw the star people. But it was almost like this is what's going to happen to our earth, because we're moving into this new earth. It's going to be different. It's not going to fall to pieces. It's going to be newly magnificent.
Oh, my whole crown's tingling as you say that. I'm like, yay, and we
Yeah.
might not be here to, well, I'm hoping that we are, but I'm really hoping that we get to see this new golden era, this new golden light, that the way that we want life to be. Because I think we most certainly forgot to show up in this world
Well, then you've
for,
got to be golden now.
yes,
If you
that's true.
want gold for your future, you've got to be gold now. If you want
That's,
shit for your future, you're going to be shit now.
yeah,
So how
that's
are you choosing now today to be? Because that's how tomorrow's going to be.
that is so true.
Simple, eh? But don't
And
tell me if I'm in an argument with somebody.
I know, well, they spoke of when somebody robs you of your, um, well, not robs you of your power, but it's so easy for us to just go meh, And I most certainly, I had a whole night of not sleeping because I was so irritated with my hair, just so irritated with my hairdresser because she did not hear me. And then I realized, the age of 5, I took a hairdresser, because I'm working with my inner child, my 5-year-old, and I took a,
No, 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 no. Michelle,
what?
why didn't she hear you?
I want to say her ego got the better
No,
of me.
no.
What?
Why didn't she hear you? What did you say to her? She said, trust me.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, I said to her, please
right?
just,
So it had nothing to do with her,
oh, that's true.
right? So you see how you're passing the blame onto her?
Hang on, I'm lost.
You knew that you didn't like what she was doing,
Got you. Yes.
and you should have said, no, I'm
Yes.
telling you now, I don't trust you
I know that
because
that
I'm
is the
feeling
detail.
it inside. This is
Yes.
not working for me. Please stop.
Yes. Yes. That is the, as soon as I saw one big chunk, I went, no,
Right?
not the
But
back,
you
just the
kept
sides.
quiet.
And then she, yes,
And
because
now
that's
you're
exactly
blaming
what
her.
happened. But that's exactly what happened. I went, because it was kind of, I felt the energy shift and drop, and I went, and I literally sat like a little girl, and I was like, okay, I'll just keep
That's
quiet.
what we do.
I know.
And then we blame the others. And then we hold it for ages. And then we rob ourselves of the joy of how many
Oh,
nights?
man. It's just incredible. But that's the part. It's easy to preach it, sister. Woo!
I know, but
You know
that's
what
why
I
it's
mean?
so wonderful to do
Yes.
because I see myself. But I'm learning.
100% right. In that moment, I should have gone, nope, you are
Yeah.
not listening to me, and you've just
Yes.
taken out a big chunk of my hair.
Yes. I
I'm done.
don't. I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah. But I did let her know in my defense. I picked up the phone and I sent her a message the next day saying, I'm really just feeling incredibly disappointed, but I said, you've given me a great gift. Thank you so much. You
Yes.
know,
Now I'm going to learn to speak up.
I know, but it's learning to speak up from that place of discernment as a
And you can do
place,
it gently.
Jesus, do you know me?
No, but I'm saying you can. This is the thing. Okay. Because you get a
That's
better
the
result for
master.
your body.
Yeah, but that's the master though. That's the master is learning to go,
Yes. Breathe. Take a moment.
let me
And
just
then
take a
go,
big
how do
breath.
I wish to react?
Yeah.
What is the
But
gift I want for myself?
yeah, but Jilly, this is what takes me back to the alignments with all the planets and the planetary, the oneness we were talking about, okay?
What's that?
I could feel the energy shift because I did speak up and I said, please just snip the thing, okay? And I could feel the energy shift there and then. And yes, it was up to me to say yes or no, okay? Which I didn't, obviously.
But she didn't like being told what to do.
Yes, that
Yeah, that's
that
what I've
was
just felt. Yeah.
yes, 100%. Because and that's the thing. It was like our egos could keep going and our heads
But you,
could keep
yeah,
butting.
but you're not responsible. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not responsible for her ego because she'll carry on with the next client and you'll go home with a weird haircut.
Absolutely. But
Hey,
okay, so this is where I sit with when is it the right time to say to somebody like this hairdresser, which I've given far too much attention to, just by the way, so I'm going to nip it in the bud. But to say to somebody, we'll just use her as a general equation. You know what? No, thank you, but no, thank you. Okay. When is the right time to do that? Because it's easy to say, well, we've got to choose ourselves. We've got to, and I'm not saying you, I'm pointing the
yeah,
energy
yeah,
at
yeah.
you. I'm saying, it's easy for us to say or for them to say, we've got to know who we are. I'm still learning who I am. I'm
That's
still,
how you're learning. She's helping you to teach. She's helping to teach you to know who you are.
absolutely. And that
And
was the
we
gift.
and all of us are doing that, I think, with each other, aren't
Yes,
we? So
yes,
every exchange that we have, we're learning a little bit more about what we like and what we don't like.
yes.
So everybody that so-called we say triggers us, wow, bring it on. Thank you.
Absolutely. And she was a great gift. She was like my mother's version, and I was like, okay, just shut it. And then I realized she had a tone like my mother. She had the I've got this, you will listen to me, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute learning of self. Absolute learning of saying, you know what? Alrighty. And she taught me not to be attached to hair. She taught me not to be attached to hair.
Actually, you look gorgeous with that really short hair. You know that like short haircut that you had?
Yeah, well, listen, I thought I was gonna have a Britney Spears moment, hey, when I was like literally taking the shears and going, I ain't crazy, guys, but hey,
I am coming ready or not.
oh, not crazy happening here, but hey. Actually, a Mohican. Maybe I'll come to Egypt with a Mohican.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
See, now the audience can see what I put up with, eh?
I can just imagine your face in Australia, like, what?
She she actually did it.
Well, you would just laugh.
And it always reminds me of my father was a pilot, and his friend used to work for South African Airways. And Jimmy went to London, and he just landed, and they were catching a tube or something. And it was the time when they used to have all the punk rockers, and this guy was sitting in the train with all the piercings and everything, and he had the Mohican,
Yes,
but he
yes. They were
but he had
long.
it, but yeah, but he had it in all the different colors,
Colours. Yes,
rainbow. And
yes,
he
they,
looked at it and he said,
yes,
"Oh my God." He said, "I think we related."
yes, they used to do
This
those,
guy
remember? Yes, with sugar water.
or something. He goes, he says to this guy, I think we must be related. He says, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, years ago my father made love to a parrot." He said the guy nearly bopped him, eh?
Oh, that's funny. Oh, guys. Well, listen, thank you, Jolie. Thank you for doing this.
I want to tell you about that guy. One more thing. This guy, old Jimmy. Jimmy was so, as I said, a pilot for SAA, and he went to Holland to the red light district, and he said there was this one prostitute, and the pilots went with the hosties, and they'd all go to dinner together, whatever. And there was this one prostitute that used to say to him, "Come on, I give you good time or whatever." And he'd say, "Okay, how much are you?" And she'd say, "Oh, let's just say I'm $100. Oh, no, 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 you're too expensive." And then the next time, and it was a game they started playing. This actually happened in real life. 1 year, he took his wife with him, past the same prostitute, and the prostitute looked at him and looked at the wife, and you know what she said? "See what you get when you're not prepared to pay the money."
Oh, that's classic. Oh, a whole lot of Madonna wife there, that's for sure.
At least the wife, I mean, she knew exactly Jimmy, right? But you see how much fun you can have.
I know, I know. And
And mushy.
that is the bottom line. Hey, we got to learn to have more fun, most certainly.
Thank
So,
you for I'm so proud of you for giving it a go.
oh, thank you, Julie. I'm so honored. It's like, whoa, you have got no idea, my friend. I'm incredibly honored that you've taken this leap of faith in me. So thank you. Thank you,
Oh, I
thank you.
think this is going to be exciting.
I know. Yee,
Hey,
watch the space, guys. Love you guys. Thanks for following us, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.
yes, bye.